Okay, so now we have our stuff. Okay, so then we have multiple things that we run to just keep track of our code and make sure that it works and is up to our standards. So we have our unit tests that we run. Then we also have spot bugs that we run to find out if there's any bugs, major bugs that we have that we're missing. Right now there are some, but they're just of concern, and some of these are almost all of them are in the tests. And some of these are kind of necessary for the things that we're testing. Like these are just creating objects with bad inputs, so they throw exceptions, which is what we're testing for, but then we don't actually do anything with that instance of them, so that's why it's like that. Then we also have our coverage tool that we run. So we have fairly high coverage in our workspace. We have 69 shown here, but some of these are GUI classes, so these are untestable. But then all of our classes, that is the back end, have 100%, if not very close. So that's that. And then we also run pit eclipse, so we can see if we have any pit mutations on our code. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Run as pit mutation. There we go. Run it on the tests.
Let's say we should run the test.
So this will just take a little bit. Okay, so we don't have any mutants that survived. We killed quite a few. We do have a couple that are not covered, but they are in GUI classes or in our top main class, which is where those happen. So now we have the game started. You can enter the number of players that you want to play with. Then it'll pick a random player to go first, and then the players can start picking their countries. So every country has to be picked once before you can place more on other places. Like you can't place on top of other players' countries or on one that you own until all of them are filled. After all the countries are filled, you can place the remaining armies that they have on whatever countries that player controls. It's all their armies. Then it asks if they would like to attack. If they would, then they pick a country to attack from, and then a country to attack. They can enter in the number of armies they want to attack with. And then for each combat, it asks how many dice you would like to roll. So if you enter in 3 for the attacker, since they're attacking with 12 armies, they can roll up to 3 dice. And then for the defender, they only have 1, so they can only roll 1 die. And then it will complete the combat, so that country lost, and then you get to take over it. And then you can try to keep attacking other countries if you like. So if you don't, then you can ask to try to fortify some of your countries, so you can move some of your units, so you get to pick an army to transfer from, or a territory to transfer from, and then you can transfer 2, and then you can enter how many you want. So if we want to take 2, then it moves 2 from the first country to the second. To green, okay, so their last turn they drew a card that would complete their set, so either a wild card or cavalry, so it asks the player if they would like to redeem their cards. So if they would, they can hit yes, and they can have infantry, wild, and artillery. So then they can click on the cards they want to turn in, it will turn them in, and then they have more armies to place. So the defender, there we go. Okay, there we go. So then we finished them off, and then when that person ends their turn, the game is over, and then green has won the game. So then also in our game you can run debug main, which is a little bit more convenient for checking the end state of the game. So here we already have the board initialized so that blue controls most of the countries.
Go ahead and run it in a different locale.
Oh, to see the end game? Sure.
Just see the cards. Cards are internationalized as well.
Sure. So if you just want to see, well, all right. Well,
so I'm gonna go ahead and run the game in a different locale. Run debug main so we can see that the cards are internationalized really quick. So run as configurations.
Hey, you can go to arguments. Yeah, you can copy this here.
So I'm gonna run it in German, and we'll assert that the so we're already here, and it says 38 to place, even though it says it in German. So because we know the game well enough, we can still play it in German. So it's going to ask us if we want to attack. I'm going to say yes, and then pick a country to attack from, pick a country to attack, number of armies I want to attack with. I'm going to say 39. 39. I want to roll 3 dice. Defender can roll up to 2 dice, so we'll have him roll 2
Yep.
dice. We won. Nope, don't want to continue, don't want to fortify. So we're just going to place their armies here and be done with it. Okay, and now we can look at our cards, and as you can see, it says artillery in German, which you could almost get away with scamming off. It kind of looks like artillery in English, but that says artillery in German, I promise. And yeah, that just show our cards are internationalized.